through the lonely streets of Eldridge Hollow, twisting around the gnarled branches of the trees that lined the cobblestone path. The moon hung high, shrouded in clouds, casting fleeting shadows every time a gust brushed by. Sarah wrapped her coat tighter around her as she walked home from the late shift at the diner, her footsteps echoing loudly in the stillness. She had always loved the peacefulness of this little town, but tonight, a sense of unease gripped her. Glancing behind her, she saw only darkness, yet an unsettling feeling crept up her spine, the kind that whispered she wasn't alone. She quickened her pace, her heart thumping like a frantic drum. Suddenly, her phone buzzed in her pocket, and she fished it out, relieved to see a message from her brother. "Hey, you okay? I had a weird feeling." She furrowed her brow, a chill running down her arms. The message was odd, almost as if he sensed something she hadn't shared. She texted back, "Yeah, just heading home." As she turned the corner, the streetlights flickered, bathing the pavement in a stuttering glow. Sarah noticed something out of place, a figure at the end of the street, dark and indistinct, swaying slightly as if caught in an invisible breeze. Panic clawed at her throat and she hesitated. "It's just a trick of the light," she murmured to herself. Yet the figure seemed to draw closer, the darkness around it deepening. With each step it took, she felt a weight on her chest, as if the air itself thickened, pinning her down. "Who's there?" Sarah called out, her voice trembling despite her attempt to sound strong. No answer, only the sound of her heartbeat echoing in her ears. As she turned to retreat, a chilling laugh echoed down the street, eerie and hollow, sending a shiver right through her bones. Was it real, or a cruel figment of her imagination? Adrenaline surged, and she sprinted toward home, not daring to look back. Reaching her front porch, she stumbled in through the door and slammed it shut behind her, locking it tight. The familiar comfort of her small living room felt miles away from the unease just outside. She sank against the door, gasping, her mind racing. What was that figure? Surely it couldn't have been. A knock reverberated through the house, resonating with a slow, deliberate rhythm. "Sarah?" It was her brother's voice, softer this time, almost pleading. Relief washed over her despite the strangeness of the situation. She rushed to the window and peered out. He stood under the swaying streetlight, looking anxious, glancing over his shoulder as if expecting something. Her heart swelled with worry, but every logical thought was drowned out by her growing dread. She fumbled for her phone to text him, but saw instead a string of increasingly frantic messages flashing on the screen. "Get inside. Stay inside. Don't open the door." Before she could process it, the door behind her creaked open, a cold draft slipping in. Sarah whipped around, her breath hitching in her throat. "It's okay. It's just me." A voice that sounded like her brother's echoed from within her darkened home, but it felt wrong, twisted. The voice was familiar, yet carried an undertone that distorted it, a smoothness she had never heard. Panic surged. Her brother was still outside. She had seen him. The figure was inside, calling to her in his voice. No, it couldn't be. Her gut screamed for her to run. But where could she go? Behind her, the darkness stretched, watching and waiting. Sarah stumbled backward, heart pounding. "If you're really my brother, say something only you would know." Silence answered her, thick and suffocating. Then the front door eased open completely, revealing a silhouette that looked just like him but distorted, a grinning face that hovered too close, eyes glinting like glass. The familiarity twisted into something grotesque as it took a step forward, shielded in darkness, the real horror lurking behind. "Sarah," it whispered, the voice oozing with malice. "Let me in." And all the while, outside, a frightened shout pierced the night, a scream swallowed by the wind as the moon gleamed down, indifferent to the nightmare unfolding in Eldridge Hollow.